Duydu sir. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Bahasa Indonesia bagus. Tadi saya sebutnya orang Indonesia, Pak.
Tadi kita diskusi bahasa Indonesia.
Makanya saya lihatin, kayaknya bukan orang Indonesia.
Your Excellency, first of all, let me again emphasize the importance of today's day for us. Thank you very much for giving us time. My good friend, the head of the international division, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Group Rusal, which is the biggest in the world producer of aluminum oxide, alumina, which is known. He is part of delegation of Mr. Deripaska, the owner of this company, and then he will give his explanation of the program of this company in Indonesia. But I just wanted to make a very short introduction. As we agreed before, I committed as the Business Council Chief Executive to organize facilitation of bilateral ties between Russia and Indonesia, and especially between two of our capitals, by introducing the leading Russian corporations to your council, to the municipality, to the governorship of Jakarta. And I hope that their very much diversified business group will find a lot of opportunities to integrate in the strategic development plan of Jakarta and find the right partnership from the Indonesian side. Probably before, I would like to, first of all, I would like to give the floor to Mr. Chesnoy to explain the reason they come over here and their plans.
Thank you, Michael. Excellency, first of all, thank you so very much for this meeting. It's great to be in Jakarta. It's the fourth time I'm here. The first time I came here in the very beginning of 2007. And I should say that now the place is more beautiful. I think even the traffic is not as dense as it used to be. So you are doing great job, great work in making your city more beautiful, and what is very important for me to see as a Moscowite, easier for life of human being, because in Moscow it's horrible, Michael said that our delegation was headed by our CEO and main shareholder, Mr. Deripaska. Unfortunately, he had to leave Jakarta this night because our president, Mr. Putin, called him and said, "Look, Oleg, I have to hold a meeting tomorrow on Olympics winter 2014 in Sochi, and we'll have a big meeting there." And Mr. Deripaska, as one of the main developers of this Olympic site, had to fly back to Russia to participate in this meeting. So it was impossible to say no to the president. But in any case, he asked me to convey to you his best regards and his best regards to the authorities of Jakarta. And the next time that will be here, of course, will guide your assistance, the assistance of your staff to arrange this meeting of him with the authorities of Jakarta. So once again, thank you for your hospitality. Why were I here? Indonesia.
Excuse me, let me ask you, do you need a translation into Indonesian? Bahasa Inggris, okay.
All of this stuff would speak English more fluently than me.
Perfect.
Why here? Because during the last years, let me say 5-7 years, Jakarta Indonesia became a strategic part of global aluminium. How it happened? The reason is very easy. China developing its aluminium industry, now pumping a lot of bauxites from Indonesia. And now, if we take the whole global production of aluminium, 26, it's all countries, 50 million tons per year this year, our forecast. 26 is all the world, but China, 24 million tons is China. And every third ton of aluminium is produced with your bauxite. So you are a strategic supplier of raw materials.
I heard you have a project in Kalimantan, Central Kalimantan.
I will come to this because it's very interesting. But Indonesia is developing, and every country at a certain stage, objectively, had to move from one step of aluminium chain to another step, because aluminium production, aluminium consumption is one of the indexes that are among indexes showing the economic development of any country. So now I do understand that the government of and the parliament of Indonesia, who adopted in 2009 the new legislation restricting the export of raw materials without certain processing. Because for you it's a sine qua non to go to the next step of development of your aluminium industry. Without this, you'll be always supplier of cheap raw materials. It's too bad because you are losing money. You may earn much more if you had the added value in your production. Okay? For Rusal, it's very important, and we are very much supportive for this. Why? Because we don't need cheap bauxite. In this region, Pacific region, we need alumina. Alumina is the second stage, bauxite, alumina, aluminium. We have now new smelters under construction in eastern Siberia, and we need to supply alumina there for the smelters. And our main refineries are located in the Atlantic regions: Jamaica, Guinea, Ireland, Italy, Ukraine. So you understand the shoulder is very long to move aluminum from the Atlantic region to the Pacific one. Of course, we need to have alumina here. But if we start to model the construction of an alumina refinery, we need the price being more than 400 tons per ton. Because now alumina refineries in the modern world should be at least 1.8–2 million tons to be feasible. Second, they are very expensive. If we do care about the environment, if we do care about the long-term operation of a refinery, we should build a solid with good environmental protection equipment, and it took 4.5 years to build that, and it's very expensive. It's around, I don't know, $2 billion to build such a refinery. For that, we need that the product alumina be not less than the price, than $450 per ton. If you restrict the export of raw materials. Of course, it's impossible to restrict 100% because you have people who live in West Kalimantan. It's their job. It's impossible now to build overnight all these processing complexes. Of course, it will take a certain time. The government of Indonesia will, I think, draft a sort of roadmap for this. But in any case, if you restrict the export of bauxite, for example, the price for aluminum will go up, and it will attract investors in the aluminium sector of Indonesian economy. The same with nickel, the same with a lot of other raw materials. So if the price goes up, the foreign investments are feasible there. For us, Indonesia becomes a very attractive country for investment because we will see how we will take our money back from investments, okay? So it was the reason why we came to West Kalimantan to meet with the governor of West Kalimantan, Mr. Cornelis, a very, very interesting, great man. We had opportunity to see by our own eyes the sites where the bauxite deposits are located. We saw the site where Tamu is now building the aluminum refinery. So it was a very nice trip. We started by West Kalimantan, and then we came to Jakarta, and we had meetings in the midst of energy, in the midst of industry. So we discussed possible options of cooperation, possible impetus of our company, our experience in the development of Indonesian aluminum industry, and so on, so forth. But it's one part of our mission. The second part is not only Russell, because Mr. Oleg Deripaska is also in the head of other businesses. It's automotive, small buses, some small medium-sized trucks, ambulances, and so on and so forth. As far as I understand, they are also producing subway cars as well. A lot of experience in hotel industry, construction business, developers. For example, I mentioned at the beginning of our meeting that he is one of the main players in the construction set for Winter Olympics Games in 2014. So other opportunities, but aluminium. And these opportunities might be of interest for the city of Jakarta.
Maybe last time we talked about the Great Sea Walls project.
Probably, if I may add a couple of words.
Yeah, sure.
You know, realistically, we definitely understand that your personal responsibility is not yet the whole Indonesia. It's only part of it, Jakarta.
Maybe next time when our governor moved to the
White House, to the palace. That's exactly the point I was going to make. And Pak Cornelis, I know that he's from the same party. Pak Cornelis is also from PDI.
But I talked to Mr. Hassan.
You did?
But maybe I said
this.
I'll make it for you.
Thank you, appreciate it. You know, in reality, we do not recognize how much aluminium we are using in daily life. It's one of the very strategic raw material for so many different industrial uses. And the level, how much aluminium you use in the industry, is the reflection of the economic development, one of the parameters of economic development.
Even not in industry, but per capita. But now in Indonesia, the consumption of aluminium is 2 kilos per capita. In China, for example, is 16 kilos per capita.
1/6.
In Western Europe, 1/8. And you have a immense room for maneuver for your involvement in the consumption of this matter.
Yeah, or in the North Sumatra, in
Inalu. Yeah, we know Inalu very well. But the problem is that the whole production of Inalu, 225,000 tons per year, is being taken over by Japanese to Japan, except very little portion left here.
But the contract again.
Yeah, we know this ultimate million. At the same time, Indonesia buys from overseas only primary aluminium. It buys more than 500,000 tons per year.
But frankly speaking, it's a very strange situation because Indonesia is #1 in many raw materials like bauxite. Take bauxite.
Many
you are buying aluminum from Australia.
Expensive.
You are selling parts of aluminium to Japan. Then you are covering deficit on aluminium in your country by importing. At this moment, it's 400,000 tons. Why not to create all this here? You have everything for this. You have bauxite, you have logistics, you have coal, you have other energies. So you have everything. But to create incentives for foreign investors to come, you need to see prices increase. And the only way to find a social, economic, feasible roadmap how to implement your legislation, your own legislation. That is a sine qua non for economic development. And that's why I do understand why it was a sort of consensus of all parties.
Have you talked to our minister?
Yes, we've met Jerovacic in April, and we've met his deputy Paksusilo yesterday. You know, the problem is that we understand it's not easy to implement it immediately, but we need also to, we expect from Indonesia the clear signal to the market that Indonesia is going to implement its own commitments, its own legislation. And once it is in place, this particular belief will be reflected in the price. The price of bauxite immediately will go up. But now the price of bauxite is in very low stage.
Yeah.
Foreign investors, for the whole market of aluminium, they do not believe that Indonesia would follow its own commitments. That's the problem. But I understand that your time is very valuable, you're very busy, and what can we do?
Unfortunately, this is not our authority.
I know. That's why. I'm turning to your responsibility.
But who knows, next year, I'll become president.
To be more precise, now the market is waiting new signals from the Indonesian authorities about how the show will be implemented. And for us it's important to see this signal now, that's it. But now, as far as the Center, Michael has some news from Moscow related to the cooperation between Moscow and Jakarta. So, Michael, please.
More specific, yeah. First of all, thank you very much for the support provided to us from our last meeting. Pajero Cartono has prepared a letter to address to his vis-a-vis in the Moscow city government, Mr. Cheryomin. Mr. Cheryomin is expecting my report, which I am supposed to prepare on the opportunities and development of bilateral collaboration. And then he will respond with the letter addressed to Pajero and your council. And from this point of view, involvement of Rusal, Azel, this cooperation is essential. They, you know, they're so strong in different aspects of city life, city transportation infrastructure, the construction industry, cable industry. All these industries consume their aluminium. And from this point of view, we will be, it's not so directly visible link between bauxite in Western Kalimantan and the success of the development of urban development of Jakarta. But in reality, in real economy, there is direct linkage. The cost of the development of Jakarta will be much lower if the same products will be produced not overseas and then imported with all the with all the logistical costs, importation duties by Jakarta. But instead, bauxite from Western Kalimantan, coal from Eastern Kalimantan, married not in China, into alumina, but here in Indonesia. Alumina then to go to Inalum, to Asahan to increase its production capacity to at least to cover internal need of Indonesia, which is at least 2 times the capacity of Inalum. And then the cost of these elements, you know, your window frames, right now.
Also my window frames is aluminum.
Exactly. But it's not being produced out of Indonesian-made products, the whole line. It is partly Indonesian, partly overseas. As a result, there is additional cost in it. That's macroeconomic aspect of it. But it is direct impact on daily life of Jakarta.
Frankly speaking, if you do share this approach, of course, we will be very much obliged if when you have some meetings with the government of Indonesia to tell them that the market is waiting new signals, because sooner we receive these signals, sooner we start feasibility studies, and earlier we start real investment projects here. Because only in the case if Indonesia will go strong with its own decisions, we will see the economic situation turn the way to create once again very strong incentives for foreign investors. It's good for you, it's good for us, and what is important is it's very good to balance the market, to make it really open market economy, because in the long run is the only way to see a sustainable economic development. And we're speaking about country, city. Jakarta is a country. Like Moscow.
Governor will fully support your planning for invest. What kind we have to help you, you just tell us.
We are supposed to come back to you in response to the initial discussion we had a couple of months back. And this is my duty. I'm not expecting, this is the ball on my, imposing, let's say, obligation on my shoulders. I'm supposed to do my homework. And with your permission, approximately within 1 month, I will come back to report to you on the development, on the response, and bring the letter back. And kindly, I also ask colleagues from Jakarta to convey my gratitude to Pak Heru Hartogo.
We're not yet bidding for our MRT.
Again, I'm not a specialist on the actual construction of the subway, but being a user of subway in Russia, in Moscow, in St. Petersburg, in other cities, we believe that it could be very much in need in Jakarta and in the way it is built in Russia, because in St. Petersburg it is exactly the same swamp area, like in Washington in the US, St. Petersburg and Jakarta. Exactly the same environment. Very, very wet, let's say. It's not easy to be
underground waters at all business like this. So it's really it's very hard. It's very difficult to do this.
It's very difficult to guarantee the stability of the built tunnels.
All technologies here in Moscow. All technologies here.
And from this point of view, we hope that it will be at least one of the projects to talk about. And they produce the train itself. Is produced by this particular group. You know, they are very much interested.
But in any case, there are a lot of topics to discuss, and where I hope we'll become friends and we'll cooperate in different fields in terms of more global things and more business things. And please don't hesitate to write, to call myself or through our distinguished Michael Kursin through the Business Council. So there are, once again, a lot of possibilities, a lot of great possibilities and great opportunities.
Yeah, my political party boss now is Michael very well. I think he have a lot of business before. in the past, I have
Yeah.
many business.
Still partners.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, he's a partner with business.
Я понял, я понял.
Yeah.
Excellency, just to summarize, we're supposed to come back with all these propositions, and definitely will be, as the member of the Business Council, Rusal helps us a lot. With their backup, we feel much more capable of committing to serious projects, because they are really big. Recently, Pasca is probably within the first, let's say, 20-25 richest people in the world. But the difference between him and majority of other, let's say,
Very rich people.
oligarchs, he's personally involved in the business. He personally is, I've spent some time with him watching how he works and being involved in some of his projects. You know, he's very hard-working individual, professional. In every field, he is getting his own group involved. It's very, very serious commitment from his side. He's not just only playing on the stock market. You know, he's really, by the way, Rusal is the only Russian company which is in the stock market of Hong Kong in Asia. But it's only, let's say, part of their activity. In reality, it's daily life, production of the product, which is essential for the global development. And again, we want Indonesia to benefit out of it. Ideal partner in order to make Indonesian master plan of economic development happen, because you made an announcement, and we actually met Parhadara Jasu on this issue. You made an announcement, a commitment. You want to develop certain industries, certain corridors, but in order to implement it, you need partners. This is the right partner, and I hope this is not only the right partner for, in general, the Indonesian economy, especially for the mining sector, but it will also be a good partner for the development of municipality of Jakarta.
How much the concession of the bauxite concession, mining concession, you need to
We're at the very beginning. Now we're looking for local partner. We have to see, first of all, we need to understand how the station will work, how prices will go, and how the market will react. Second, simultaneously, we are trying to find a very nice local partner, because to do business, I think we should do this business with local partner. Maybe this local partner will has a license, and it will be easier for us, and it will take less time to start a real investment process.
So you're planning, the planning site is in West Kalimantan?
At the moment, if we are speaking about aluminium, it's West Kalimantan. But once again, we have other possibilities for cooperation between our group of companies, not only Rusal, but basically Kalimantan, Russian machines, and so on and so forth.
Like a body, the bus body is
absolutely,
yeah.
to cooperate with Jakarta, to cooperate with Indonesia.
Yeah, that's one of the Malaysian company. It's very famous, and I forgot the name. They work together with the East Central Java carrossery of the bus carrossery. They also work together with the Scania. Scania. So they want to develop for us the aluminum bus. So
Yeah.
full
For the public transportation.
Yeah, for public transportation.
Is the full size or a small?
Full size, articulated. Yeah.
To match this particular the level of the,
Yeah, for our Transjakarta busway.
Two industries create 50% of growth for aluminium consumption. It's automotive and construction.
Yeah.
It's 50% of the consumption of aluminium.
Yeah, next year we'll plan for a new requirement, specification for a new Transjakarta bus. They have to use aluminum body.
So, but why here, if you need a primary aluminium, it's also or wires, or I don't know. It's something to be discussed in the future, because we can not only invest here in this country, but we may also sell aluminium, cars, buses. So, but it's to be discussed, of course. It's our second trip here this year. First was in the very beginning of April, we came small delegations just to understand and to understand better what is going on. And now we brought our main shareholder and our CEO, Mr. Rekam. I'm very happy that he managed to come. And now I think we are very much pro-Indonesian in our plans.
You have to flow for us, like
It's not to be polite.
like a Swangi or stadium. Until today, we only have this Gelora Bung Karno Stadium. This Soviet.
It's exact copy of the main stadium of Moscow.
So we have planned, we have another stadium in the northern Jakarta because it's a Taman.
The one which is now reconstructed.
But not yet. We have to land clearing first. I think we have joined the local company.
You know, Mr. Diripaska, he himself is involved in a lot of government finance strategic projects, including this particular February 2014 Olympics in Sochi. He's also involved in the construction and then management of the airports. His group, he has special team for this.
But there are different ways to cooperate, once again, between our group of companies and the city of Jakarta. But I think that now we have to somehow digest together this information for us to digest what we saw here, maybe for you to think about what we told you about possibilities of cooperation that may be all direct or through Michael will provide some more information, more specific information, more details about our proposals, and we could just start these discussions of possible ways of
Next time, when you come back to Indonesia again, just stop by. We will ask our CEO, our local enterprise company, about Berdikari, and Ancol, to Japro sama Ancol sama Pak Gatot juga. So we have many reclamation island. We have developed many convention hall, hotel in the Jakarta Bay.
because we
have
experience
here in our
building.
We want to develop more property. Talking about trend is the central government. Trend is central government. Like talking about property, what a giant seawall or wastewater management. I think that I can talk to our local enterprise.
You know, for me it was very also positive sign when I was asked by the chief executive of the group, the owner of the group, to advise him on Indonesia. The first question he asked, okay, we are coming to Indonesia, but kindly find the local community with whom I can discuss environmental issues. I want to make sure that if we are coming to Indonesia, we will be never interfering in the environment without guarantee that we will re-establish it, we will guarantee reforestation, and this is very, very important. Just commitment.
It's impossible to be a normal, modern company, not be socially responsible. You're paid twice. You should be socially responsible. You should be part of the local community. You should live with their own interests. And they should be part. It's like we work in Guinea, in Nigeria, in Guyana, in Jamaica, in Italy, in Ireland, in Ukraine, in Russia, in Siberia. We should be one family. It's not just only words. It's really the case, because we should understand the interests of each other and be very much respectful. And by the way, after this meeting, we'll go to see NGOs who are who have their own vision about protection of environment, because we would like to be in conformity with the highest environmental standards. Because, well, we're civilized guys, and we would like to see our business not destroying everything around, but providing job and education for local communities and being part of this, what should I say, of this harmony. And but we need to understand better the way we'll see these guys now, the standards they have in mind when they're speaking about friendly industry to environment. That's very, very important. Very important. It will save money. In the long run, it will save money.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to make this cooperation because so Michael has a long experience, have many local partners here in Indonesia, and our country have a very long history. We have a good cooperation. When Sukarno is president, we have a very long story, good cooperation, and now we believe with Russia the same.
This year we'll have at least 2 Russian-Indonesian summits, because as far as I understand, your president will attend G20 summit in Russia in September. By the way, last year they met G20 in Mexico. Then this year we'll have the session of the bilateral commission on economic and technical cooperation. This year we'll have a second meeting of our presidents in Bali during APEC summit. So it's a year of Russian-Indonesian cooperation. That's great. That's great because
Jakarta, Moscow has a sister city. 2007. Yeah, after our president visited there December 2006.
November, December 2006, and then Mr. Putin, President of Russia, came in September 2007.
I even remember the date. It was September 6th.
We were accompanied.
We were together at this summit. And we signed the memorandum in that time, but then the global financial crisis destroyed our initial plans, but now we're back.
Where you want to visit again in Jakarta?
Значит, насколько мне нужно важно сказать. Hopefully I will be coming back in July, and with your permission, what I would like to...
I think we want to arrange meeting with Bahasim.
Boleh? With great pleasure. With great pleasure. Excellency, before I know that your time is limited, I would like to get your support on a couple of small projects, comparatively small, but with very big strategic and long-term impact. You know that we have, the Soviet side, Russian side, was involved in the construction of the hospital, friendship hospital, Persahabatan, I've been there a couple of times lately, and I understand that it requires some support from not only from you, but also from
Persahabatan Hospital is owned by our health minister.
Yeah, I know the story, but it's in Jakarta. I know that it belongs to Bpk.
Yeah, what can we do?
I want to have very small project initiated on our level. What I have done lately, after our meeting, I have spoken to Russian Minister of Education and Russian Minister of Health. We would like to suggest a quota for Indonesian students of medical required by Rumah Sakit Persahabatan, this particular clinic, to be sent with the support of the Russian government. Some money will be provided in order to help them get this particular education. Probably each year, 5 to 10 individuals. We would like to propose to the Ministry of Health of Indonesia and Municipality of Jakarta to make it on the commitment basis. These students going to Russia get their education with commitment that they will work for Rumah Sakit Persahabatan at least for 3 to 5 years. If they resign from there, they should pay compensation. Basically, to make them committed, to make them committed. Yeah. At least we will create some kind of team of young, dynamic, good education specialists. Plus another project, which I would like also to support. Marina represents the same institution I graduated from, Moscow State University. I did initiate 15 years ago the signing of the agreement with rector of UI, Professor Tajudin. we are doing a lot between two universities. We have exchange of students. We have a lot of Russian students are now studying there. We used to have practice of just sending Russian students for Indonesian language studies. But then we decided, why should we simply study Indonesian without, instead, we'd rather do the regular life in Indonesia, simultaneously studying the language. What we are doing right now, our students, they're coming to RI, to University of Indonesia, they study at the political faculty or some other faculties, they're getting the second education, and Indonesian language comes automatically from their socializing and from their studies. They're coming with already quite strong level of Indonesian language knowledge, thanks to Marina and team which Marina represents. Actually,
Graduate from UI?
Graduate from Moscow University. Yes, Moscow University. We have the same teacher. Our teacher, she is already quite senior and usia lanjut. Tapi gurunya sama. Saya tamat 80. Marina tamat 28 tahun. Okay, that's another project. We want to also to start collaboration between not only high schools but also technical schools. You know, polytechnical colleges. I have already prepared the program, accepted by Moscow City Government Educational Division, and I will bring this program together with the Polytechnical College Director to you in July, with your commission, probably second half of July.
Yeah, we could provide many facilities, like our school, like for training centers. We have many. And it's a good idea to send them.
There is already competition. You know Pak Luhut Panjaitan, my counterpart, because he is also head of the Indonesian-Russian Business Council. He has his own polytechnical university in Medan. And definitely he would like also Russian teachers to come over there. But I believe that without sacrificing interest of Bataks in Northern Sumatra, but we should also make sure that Betawi, orang Betawi juga jangan sampai dilupakan di sini. Actually, we need also to make sure that in Jakarta we have similar.
We do support very much.
Nanti dari Juli datang lagi, kita siapin dinas pendidikan sama tenaga kerja. Untuk join, kalau gurunya dia kesehatan.
We support very much any cooperation in education, because these relations, they help enormously during normal business afterward. For example, many countries for presence will have huge expenses for training for education. For example, we are paying the higher education of 100 guineas in Russian high schools for them to create their own army of engineers, technicians. So it's very important.
Mesti kirim orang ke Rusia sekolah. Itu send kirim ke Rusia belajar.
Beasiswanya kami sediakan.
Harusnya model harus dulu saja ya. I did itu. You know, then I did our Communist Party chairman, former Communist Party chairman, Dipa Nusantara, I did.
Oh yes, I know this name.
He was born in my same island with me.
Oh really?
Belitung Island. When he was young, he studied in Moskow. It's
University.
You could imagine in the 60s, the young, one of this our backstory. Now we could easily open to talk about this. But when Suharto in power, if I talk like this, I get in jail now. I have a problem. Tapi arti itu gini loh, saya mau ngomong bahwa dulu kita lebih maju. Soekarno Hatta bisa dikirim ke Belanda, kita bisa dikirim ke Moskow. Itu Cina juga begitu. If I read the Chinese story, they send many study in Moscow. Zhou Enlai sana itu send to France, Prancis. Kita harus lakukan dua, kita udah kirim BPPT tau kan? Pulang begitu aja, harusnya kita kirim sesuatu yang berbeda. Ya harus mungkin dari orang kita. Kirim pesan ke Facebook bagus juga untuk belajar dari siwa.
You know, honestly, with all our criticism about the Soviet time, about the communist rule, we are probably now one of the most anti-communist countries in the world. But we should admit, medical care system, education system, and definitely planning system. Probably these three elements.
We have to send my sons to study about gun machinery to learn technology for him. He's interesting.
I'm committing.
He's interesting.
The best technical high school specialized in this particular matter. I know personally the rector of this university who will take care of it.
Interesting.
And then come back and work at Pinda.
In any case, we have to look forward. Maybe we had good experience, now we should create new projects.
SMA kita, waktu dia kuliah kirim ke sana, kita belajar bahasa Rusia di mana sih?
Yeah, I will take care of it. This is my responsibility.
Ya, you know what ada ya belajar bahasa Rusia.
We know what we are doing. We even in the Faculty of Oriental Studies of Moscow State University, we have now the course of Russian language studies for foreign students coming from the countries, which languages we are teaching in this university. And it's let's say the turn-back system. Our teachers who are teaching Indonesian, they are helping also students from Indonesia to study Russian.
But it's not only for Oriental languages.
It's
for French, English, it's Russian for foreigners. It's a whole course of studies.
Nah, saya kira mesti dicatat ini, kasih tahu anak lulusan SMA. Saya kontak Pak Michael untuk pikirkan mereka kuliah di Rusia.
I already provided my name card, email address. I have daily communication. I have staff
teknologi. Jadi mereka itu betul-betul negara yang independen gitu teman. Ya kita mesti kayak Bung Karno kan ada keseimbangan, jangan sebarat terus. Kita mesti ada yang
penyeimbang.
Ya kalau dulu kalau nggak ada Rusia, Soviet bantu, nggak bisa ambil balik Papua.
Betul sekali. 6162.
Oh ya, jadi kita mesti ada keseimbangan.
Он говорит о том, что в 61-62 году, если бы не Советский Союз, не Россия, мы бы не вернули себе часть территории западного
Kita harus tidak pikirkan seperti itu.
At that time, Russian people, Russian officers were dressed in Indonesian Navy uniform in order to, and they were cruisers delivered from Russia, plus 12 submarines. Transferred to Indonesian Navy.
Yang punya kapal selam itu kan dari Soviet. Nggak mana? NATO mana mau kan belum pernah. Ya kawan NATO.
Belanda mundur, mereka tidak bisa berlaki.
Kalau tidak dikasih itu pasti nggak bisa. Itu sejarahnya.
Сейчас мы бы не вернули территорию, это была бы отдельная голландская колония.
That's why we have a very good relationship.
And now we have to translate this excellent historical good relationship into a lot of mutual.
Now we don't talk about war, we talk about business. Nobody want to die now. Everybody want to become rich.
But with a very human face. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Terima kasih.
Ya, saya datang lagi, tinggal kontak saja mampir. Ya, kapan datang mampir.
Bulan Juni
Saya laporkan. Siap ini. Pendidikan kesehatan.
Salam kepada Wakil.
Pak Basuki, nasihatnya kita mempersembahkan sebuah buku yang disusun dan diciptakan oleh perusahaan misal semua aluminium.
It's really about aluminium. All these buildings from different countries, from Malaysia, Shanghai, in one place.
Petronas Towers, aluminium made.
It's aluminium made. So very interesting book, lot of very interesting information to understand how this metal is used. Because it's only airplanes, not only buildings, but it's everything. Starting with cigarettes and ending with sweets. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sampai jumpa lagi.
Kalau datang sini mampir. Ya, kalau ke Jakarta mampir saja.
Saya mungkin